Afternoon, guys. How you doing? It's Andy at Life Fitness here. Ever read a social media post and thought to yourself, wow, I was just having that conversation just a couple of days ago with a friend or a colleague or a customer. And well, that actually happened to me this morning. I was actually reading through and catching up on some stuff from over the weekend on LinkedIn with a couple of Y partners that were posting some pretty cool content. And just below their article was something from an industry colleague and friend of ours, Dr. Paul Bedford. Paul does something on LinkedIn where he has these what he calls lunchtime learnings, and Paul had posted something about the evolution of the customer experience, and I thought it was really interesting because it was a conversation I'd had with a colleague of mine just last week in Chicago, in our Chicago offices. And we were having a discussion about what is the next step in the evolutionary process of customer service or the customer experience. And Paul mentioned it in his little article where he talked a little bit about that evolution from customer service to the customer journey, and then from the customer journey to what we now call the customer experience. And I thought it was really interesting because it mirrored the conversation I'd had last week. And so I always felt that the customer service piece was kind of quite clunky and maybe a little analog, maybe more process and procedure driven. The customer journey always felt a little bit more experiential, but with elements of that process and procedure and maybe a little bit more of that analog element. And as we move towards what we now term the customer experience, that really does feel more emotive. It feels more around the physical and mental feelings that people have around these experiences that are created. And I think there are some phenomenal experiences around the world. You only need to look at the way the fashion industry and shopping experiences have now evolved. Look at car showrooms, at spin studios, at boutique health clubs, and how they actually manufacture these innovative experiences that people just clamour for. So part of the conversation I was having last week with my colleague was we were talking about what is that evolution, what's next after the customer experience, and how do we make that even better. And part of that conversation, we talked about integration. And I really think that integration is going to be a big part of the way that our industry starts to think about these customer experiences and really starts to capture hearts and minds of our customers. But not only just integrating it into people's lives, but creating less barriers. And usually creating less barriers means making it more frictionless. So how do we make it easy for people to access these experiences that they then can translate and bring into their lives on a daily basis? And that really formed a lot of the conversation that we'd had. So I thought I'd just post this short video on it and kind of get your thoughts as to whether you think that integration of these customer experiences is one of the next evolutionary steps towards creating an even better customer experience. So by all means, post some comments in the box below. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. And as always, thanks for watching the video. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your Monday and a blessed week. Thanks. Bye.